Short video, friends. I hope you're all doing well. We're going to talk about the future of van life. The latest news isn't very good, to be honest. You can really feel that there's more and more of a sword of Damocles hanging over people who live in converted vehicles. It actually started a few years ago already with the whole issue of combustion engines. The end of combustion engines, which was originally planned, I think, for something like 2040. First, the ban on sales, and then eventually even on the roads, replaced by electric vehicles. Well, I think they're starting to backtrack on that. We're buying a little bit of time on that front. But now things are starting to get... Van life is no longer won't be what it used to be. That's how it is. As for me, you should know that I experience van life, or rather camping, from the age of 6, maybe even earlier, when every summer I would go join my grandparents at a campsite in Grimaud. So yeah, I spent 10 years camping, and that's probably why in 2020, 2021, after COVID, I bought the camper van, and we set off with Caroline to travel around Europe, because I had that childhood experience of camping in me, and the desire to experience van life, inspired by different videos like those from Greg's Way, especially Greg's Way, which made me want to do this and to bring Caro along with me on this little adventure. Now it's 2024 and things have changed quite a bit. We've been on the road for 2 years, and I think we've experienced the best, really the very best of van life. It was actually during COVID, when the borders were closed and people couldn't travel, especially in Portugal. If you watch all the videos from the channel in Portugal, the older ones, they took place in the winter when it was forbidden when the airports were closed in Portugal. So no visitors could come to Portugal. But on the other hand, we were able to get in with the camper van. So we got to discover Portugal with hardly any tourists at all, including Sintra, everything. You can see videos of Sintra with no tourists at all, with absolutely nothing. We experienced that, and it's something we won't get to experience again for several reasons. First, because COVID is no longer around, and that's a good thing. And then because traveling freely in a camper van is becoming more and more complicated. Recently, we saw that in Greece, they are increasingly banning all the free spots, free camping areas. More and more, van life is going to become expensive. I just went to empty the cassette to use the services at the Tavira area, a place where we usually go for these services. And today I asked, so did it go up by €1? How much is it this time? And she told me 5. And there you go. The last time I went there, just a few months ago, it was €4 for the services. Last year it was 2. We even knew it for €2. We've seen it at €2. Now it's €5 to refill with water and empty the cassette. So there you have it. Even just at this level, prices are skyrocketing. Don't even get me started on the service stations at Intermarché. Before, a lot of Intermarché locations had stations to empty grey water and black water and to refill with water. Now they are pretty much all wrecked. It's almost impossible to do it anymore. So the only thing we can do now is refill. Well, the only thing, it's getting harder and harder to find areas, spaces just to refill with water and empty out. Van life has really become widespread thanks to batteries and solar panels. You know, we don't realize it, but that's what brought the most freedom. It's this electrical freedom. Before, you often had to make stops to recharge your camper, unless you had very, very few devices to charge. You know, but as soon as you wanted to start working, you needed solar panels. So that really helped with the democratization of van life, you know, along with the tools that allowed us to geolocate ourselves, to be able to mark spots. All of that brought so much convenience. It removed entry barriers that meant anyone, including ourselves for that matter, could live this kind of life, you know, without solar panels, without internet everywhere. It was impossible. We never could have lived this kind of life, or we would have had to do it on our own savings and wouldn't have been able to work at the same time, or we would have had to work differently. So I'm digressing. Currently in Greece, then we can no longer park freely. In Portugal, where we are, I can see it happening little by little. So in Tavira, it's a bit more complicated. You can still park next to the market, but you'd better keep a low profile. It's the same thing in Ohio. Ohio was a place we loved to go and park. because there were 2 vacant lots right in the center of Ohio, just a few minutes, I'd even say 5 or 10 minutes from the double traditional market of Ohio. These 2 lots have just been fenced off for construction. So that's it. Ohio is over. Now you'll have to go to the campground before Ohio, the huge campground. More and more towns in the Algarve are preventing us from parking wherever we want. So you see, little by little, it's a freedom that's changing. Freedom doesn't exist. We choose our prison, and we are well aware of it. So the legislation keeps changing. There is no later than today. I think it was this morning. I was reading an article in France where about 100 camper vans were fined, got tiketsu. I'll share the article if I can find it again. So what will happen to Vanlife in 2025? Will we be able to keep going? I don't know. Should I tell you what the future of this lifestyle is? I don't know. There are always times when we are a little more accepted, like in the middle of winter, because there are fewer tourists. When summer comes, I really don't think that's going to be a time when we'll take out the camper van, because already with the heat, it's a bit of a hassle. No, the mid-seasons seem to be times when really in winter, if the weather is nice, being able to go wandering around in the camper van can be great. Personally, I don't see myself going back to living in the camper van year-round. It's something that exhausted me while working at the same time. Honestly, if I do it again, it will be because I have the time and the finances allow it. To relive it the way we did before, no. Taking the camper van for 2 weeks, yes. And similarly, it would really be to enjoy it, to avoid working, to truly disconnect so I can make those kind of videos again, but make videos that are really top quality. What I think is, if you ever want to embark on this adventure, is now the right time. I don't know. I think the best days are behind us, or else you really have to go to places where there's no one. That's it. Go visit places, avoid the spots where everyone wants to go. That's it. So you'll have to go to places where it's either very, 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 very hot in the summer, or places where it's very, 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 very cold in the winter. Mixing the two seems to me to be quite complicated. I don't know what you think about that. So there you go. There are more and more low emission zones where you can't go to park or camp. Anyway, you can sense there's a kind of little war going on. Well, we deserve it. We deserve what's happening. I see a lot of behavior that just shouldn't happen. People who think they can do whatever they want, there's not one nationality that's worse than another, Everyone more or less does whatever they want, whenever they want. We often find ourselves in really quiet places, In every country we had neighbors who would start yelling all night, partying. We kind of get what we deserve, like I've seen in other videos. Vanlife for now, I think there's going to be a rather tough period. Maybe I'll talk about it in another video, but the campervan market, just like real estate, might collapse one day. I think that once the boomers kick the bucket, or however you want to put it, I'm not sure which way, but when that whole generation is gone, I think both the real estate and campervan markets are going to take a hit. For some people, that will be an opportunity to get cheap camper vans. That might be the topic of maybe another video like this, face to camera. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll have more and more freedom or not? Personally, I think, do you think Vanlife is going to change? I think a lot. There will be fewer and fewer spots where you're alone. We'll have to go park with everyone else. Is that good? Is it bad? I don't know. It's just different. That's all. So, sending you kisses. Don't hesitate to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.